Hello there, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to the show, Everlasting Summer, and we will continue. Yes, we were here. Also, by the way, I'm actually, after this recording, I'm actually gonna go get my wisdom teeth finished. Yes, last time I recorded, I actually went to the dentist and got my wisdom teeth cut out. It's been really shit this past few days, but I think I'm gonna go and get my rope cut out now, so the wound can finally heal completely. But anyway, enough about my wisdom teeth and my cold. Sorry if I sound a little bit sick. Let's continue on with the story with Lens Flare over here. Yes, Lens Flare, hi. After such an intense talk, staying here was the last thing I wanted, but it wouldn't be nice to just stand up and leave. That didn't really go well, huh? Lena hasn't answered anything. It seems I made a fool out of myself. I bet if Uliana was here, she'd have a good laugh at me. Do you enjoy being here? I recalled the Slavyas question. Okay, I'll just put that down to grammatical error, and thought it would be a good start for a conversation. Yes. She smiled slightly. I guess I like it too. Lena definitely isn't very sociable, and probably can't carry on a meaningless conversation as easily as Slavia. Well, but there was something about her that attracted attention. Like a momentary glimpse of a reflection in the glass on a rainy autumn evening, which makes you turn around and stare into darkness, searching for something that you saw out of the corner of your eye. Wow, quite romantic. Of course you weren't able to distinguish or understand what it was, but it still felt so tempting. Lena was still reading the book without paying any attention to my presence. I forgot how to pronounce your name correctly, by the way. And I had no intention of asking her anything about this camp or this world in general. Beautiful night. I did not put on an accent, yes. How in the world would you start a conversation with her? Then don't. It's late. I have to go. Yes, it's quite late. Good night. Night. There was something strange about this girl. At first glance, she is a typically shy and modest pioneer girl, but the mystery of Lena took its own place in the massive list of mysteries about this camp, which I had started to put together in my head. ... Can we go to bed now? A lazy evening with nothing like a good time. That's nothing like a good time with nothing to do, eh? I headed towards Olga Dmitrievna's cabin. The light in the house was on. Hello, Semyon. Spaghetti noodle. You're quite late. Yeah. I went for a walk to look around the camp. Alright. You'll be sleeping here. She pointed her finger at one of the beds. Right here? I was a bit surprised. Yeah, something wrong? We are out of free cabins anyway. The camp leader smiled, but I rather think it was just out of politeness. You do want to be a decent pioneer, don't you? That was a clear emphasis on the word decent. Damn. Wait, is that a bra just hanging on the bed right there? Okay. Yep. Sure. I was lost in thought for a moment. Don't you mind it, mademoiselle? She looked at me oddly, with surprise and some offense in her eyes. A pioneer should respect their elders. Wait, you're telling me that you're older than me? Olga Dmitrievna said strictly. Of course he should. No one argues with that. I blathered, not realizing what was wrong. Shouldn't you also... She stared at me. Under such a gaze, even mithril forged by the best dwarf masters from the deepest dungeons would melt. Should I what? What's up, Toots? Annoyance and a lack of understanding made me raise my voice. You must address adults appropriately. Yes, of course there are a lot of strange things here. But this girl is just a couple of years older than me. Or maybe even younger. But I decided not to argue. While just a few minutes ago I would have never called her an adult, I have to admit that she was also given a strong character. In any case, I wasn't in a position to argue. As you say, ma'am, I mumbled. That's much better. That is how a decent pioneer should conduct himself. And now it's time to sleep. Honestly speaking, I was going to become neither a decent nor an indecent pioneer. Just yesterday, I wasn't going to become a pioneer at all. But do I have a choice now? If you don't want to, well, I have to make you. This is the motto Olga Dmitrievna was probably going to use. I climbed onto the bed and closed my eyes, only to realize how tired I was after today. Something hammered in my head awfully, as if my brains had started a night shift, and they seemed to be aimed more at rolling steel than working on something more sensitive. The bus flew through my mind, and the square of the monument, the canteen full of pioneers, and the malicious face of Uliana. Flavia, Lena, lens flare, angry girl, and even recalling Elisa didn't give me too much of a negative feeling. Did we just have some really bad spaghetti before we went to bed? What if I'm here for good? Question mark, ominous noise. Day 2. Why does it always show us a computer screen for days? That's one thing I don't understand. I was having a dream. It seemed like I was in some kind of vacuum, with nothing but nothing around me. But not only around. I was the only creature in the universe. As if the universe had returned to a state of singularity right before the Big Bang. And something which was just about to happen. Suddenly, I heard a voice. I could not make out the words, but it sounded familiar. We're getting woken up, isn't it? The voice was whispering something gently, as if soothing me. And then I realized. It was the voice of that strange girl from the bus. The girl from the dream. But what is she trying to tell me? Who is she? I woke up. What is this creepy picture of a guy hanging here? I'm still curious. Is that Morpheus? Russian Morpheus? Bright sunlight struck my eyes. It was almost noon. After stretching lazily on the bed and yawning, I started to recall the previous day. In a few seconds, all its events passed before my eyes. The bus, the camp, the local inhabitants, the food, the bugs, Uliana. No, that's just wrong. Not this whole situation, not me being here, it was wrong by default. My attitude towards what was happening was wrong. Whoa, what did I do? Right-clicked. Oh, don't right-click. Because yesterday I fell asleep here just like that, and before that I chatted nicely with the local pioneers. Even managed to crack a few jokes. Maybe you like it here. How could I act like that in such a situation? I should be frightened, startled by every little rustling, and should avoid all contact with the potentially hostile creatures. The last day's events were getting hazy, like I had a hangover. This really feels like the morning after a heavy drinking party. Yesterday's natural, flawless, absolutely normal conduct becomes a nightmare in the morning, a grotesque illustration from the Divine Comedy. Yes, it's just like that, and I can't change the past now. Then again, I had probably assessed the situation and was acting accordingly. I glanced around, trying to figure out whether I had been thrown somewhere else, but Olga Dmitrievna's cabin looked the same as yesterday. Simeon is funny. It's the fact that most characters in other shows would kind of just freak out. They would keep telling themselves to try and stay calm, but then would freak out. This guy is telling himself to freak out, but keep staying calm. It's kind of funny in that regard. Everything seemed to be in its place, except for a pioneer uniform, which was hanging from the bedhead. I fumbled with it in distrust and tried it on. At least this is better than walking around in winter clothes. I wish I could see myself. I bet I look like a clown. There's a mirror right here. Right here, bub. Right here. And for that, I needed a mirror. At least a tiny one. You got... Yeah, he found it. He found it on the wardrobe door. Holy. You got no beard. You're baby face. What? I looked at the newfound pioneer and jumped away in surprise. There was some teenager on the other side of the mirror. He resembled me, but he wasn't me. Where did the weak stubble go? Where were the bags under my eyes, the slouch, that deathly fatigue on my face? It seemed that I had not been thrown back in time or into a parallel reality, but instead had simply changed bodies of someone else. Right, that's real simple. Such things happen every day. I took a closer look at the stranger, and only then I realized that it actually was me. It just wasn't today's me. Maybe the one from between my school and university years. Well, at least that's something. There you go. The person in an extreme situation did fail to notice the elephant in the room after all. Well, you haven't met a single mirror at all. But the camp leader noticed it. And last night she told me off for addressing her without proper respect. Ah, screw that. I want my stubble back. I doubt my appearance affects anything else. If the clock was not lying, breakfast was long over. Oh well, I'll try to find something in the canteen. It worked out well yesterday with Slavia, didn't it? Those memories made me smile involuntarily. The keys. We still have the keys. The sun was shining brightly outside. A light breeze was blowing. A beautiful summer day. I had not felt so good in the morning for several years. All problems were gone, vanished into clouds that were white as snow. Olga Dmitrievna came out of nowhere. Oh, she's wearing a hat. Good morning, Semyon. Morning. I smiled, doing my best to show that no matter what, my morning was indeed good. My Russian accent, what happened to my Russian accent? I lost it. I fucked it up proper. You only arrived yesterday, so I decided not to wake you up. But breakfast... Never mind. Here, take this. Yeet. She handed me something wrapped in paper. Judging by the oily stains, there had to be sandwiches inside. Oh, thank you, comrade. Now go wash yourself. I was about to leave. Wait a second. Olga Dmitrievna quickly ran into the house and came out to shove a small bag into my hands. Inside it, I found a toothbrush, soap, a small towel, and something else. I did not look too closely. A pioneer should always be clean and tidy. Let me do your neckerchief properly this first time. Yours is askew. You should do it yourself once you learn how to. Do we have to? I'm going to wash myself now. Wait, Russian accent. Yeah, right. It could get hooked on the tap and strangle me. Fine. Later then. And don't forget about the lineup. Pencils, paper, drawing lines. You don't forget such things. That lineup. What do you mean, what lineup? She frowned. It's Monday today. Weird. By my approximation, it should have been Sunday. Then again, a shift in the day of the week is hardly the worst thing. Usually we have lineups early in the morning for breakfast, but it's Monday today, so we are having it at 12 o'clock. Don't understand your logic, but okay. Don't be late. Alright. But where? At the square, where else? You dumbass? There was no reason to argue. I headed to the bathing place, as the Romans say it back then. I knew I could forget about separate showers and toilet by the sight of this malfunctioning symptom of decaying socialism. A funny turtle with a tin shell, paw taps, and a ceramic belly. I felt sick. This is the showers? I was not a squeamish person, but nevertheless, standing there I realized that there was still some minimal level of habitual comfort which I found it troublesome to do without. It's often like that. When you lose things that you thought were ordinary and common, you suddenly understand just how essential they were. Ah, screw this. To hell with it, as if I have any choice. The water was ice cold. While washing my hands was not an issue, washing my face and my mouth became a big problem. There was no toothpaste in the bag which Olga Dmitrievna gave me. Ah, we don't need toothpaste. I could brush my teeth without it, but there was a small round box wrapped in a towel. Tooth powder. Cute. 1 point for me being somewhere in the past. I washed myself quite quickly, also due to the ice cold water. Someone was coming quickly, or more like running towards me. I turned around. You again. It was Slavia, dressed in a tracksuit. This girl would probably look good in anything. Pioneer out uniform, bikini, probably even a spacesuit. That's hard to pull off unless you're talking about Samus Aran's Zero suit. Hey there! Oh hi. That killed me. Ohio! Good morning! Good morning! Yeah! Oh yeah, real smooth. We went to 3 different languages. Why didn't you come for breakfast? I overslept. I said it as if I was proud about it. But Olga Dmitrievna gave me some sandwiches. Oh, great then. Don't forget about the lineup. Can we give her the keys? Yeah, sure. As if I could forget. Right, I gotta run. Enjoy yourself. She waved goodbye to me and disappeared around the path's bend. Looks like it's a couple of minutes until the lineup. I should quickly pass by my home to drop off my washing bag and eat the sandwiches, and then head to the square. I swung open the door of the camp leader's cabin and rushed inside, as if jumping into the last car of a departing train. Oh no, don't tell me she's undressing. It didn't turn out to be the best idea, because inside I found Olga Dmitrievna, who was changing. Are you ready for the fan service, boys and girls? In 3, 2, 1, commence fan service. Not yet. I froze on the spot, trying not to breathe. 3, 2, 1, fan service. Finally, the camp leader noticed me. 3, 2, 1, fan service. Oh my god, come on, game. Semyon! I looked away immediately. Have you heard of knocking? Now get out! No fan service. I was wrong. Yeah, that was real clumsy. What's this eye? Oh shit. No fan service. Although I did enjoy the sight. Olga Dmitrievna followed me out in a minute. Here, take this. Now it is your home too. Keys. She handed me a key. I put it in my pocket. Home. Of course, if you disregard how fantastical the current events were, this camp was far from being the worst place on earth, but to call it home. Just after 1 day spent here, I doubt I'll ever be able to do so. Alright, let's go. We're late. Come on, bish. But what about the sandwiches? Just eat them on the way. We were passing along the lines of the pioneers' cabins while I was tucking into the ham sandwiches, and Olga Dmitrievna kept on talking and talking. She was buzzing like a game of Operation with Parkinson's. But I cared about nothing but the food. Understood? Huh? You weren't listening. Sorry. Today is the first day of your new life as a pioneer, and you should do your best so that it becomes a happy life. Ah, yeah, definitely. I'm serious. A pioneer has many duties. Great responsibility is conferred upon him. To participate in social work, to help his juniors, to study and study and study and more study. We are here all like one big family. and you will become a part of it. Yeah, a part. I'd even sign a party membership card if it could save me from listening to this nonsense. I hope that after your term here is over, you'll keep the most pleasant memories about our camp. Memories that will last your whole life. And when will this term end? Why do you keep asking silly things? It seems I won't get any information from her. A shame, really. This world appears to be so friendly, but it never bothered to introduce itself to me. Perhaps now I can take things somewhat easier than yesterday? Seems like I have some unspoken ceasefire with it. It isn't trying to hurt me, but I'm forbidden from asking questions, so it's a cold war. Of course, this situation isn't a pleasant one, but what can I do about it? A bad peace is better than a good dispute? The most important thing for you now is to make the best of the time you will spend here. I'll do my best, ma'am. Honestly, I was very tired of this conversation. It would be good to know where that here is, in the 100-acre woods, but we came to the square. The pioneers were already lined up. Is somebody not here yet? Nope, all here. She looked around at her brave pioneer troops. Alright, go stand somewhere. Feared. Why did she tell me there are no more sleeping places? While the chief was running her mouth about our plans for the week, I stared at the people. There's angry chick, Juliana, black-haired glasses I had never seen, lens flare, Blondie, and Blondie number 2. A few heads away from me stood Electronic. A little further, Lena and Slavia, and at the end of the line, Uliana and Elisa. Everyone I had met was here. Olga Dmitrievna spoke about some competitions, and I turned my attention to the monument. Genda. I could not remember any revolutionary with a similar name. He had a weird posture too, as if he was looking around with distrust, maybe contempt, or even disdain. Probably some local leader. Daydreaming again? Slavia brought me back to reality. Olga Dmitrievna stood nearby. Still remember the plan for the week? The plan? Yes, of course I do. I will never forget the plan. Perfect. She looked at Slavia. Did you bring it? Yes. Slavia handed me a piece of paper. It's a checklist. Here are 4 tasks to check off. Do it all today. Before you start, sign up for a club. There are some clubs in the clubhouse and a musical club in the separate building. Then visit the infirmary. And finally visit the library. Got it? Forgot all of it already, yes ma'am. Checklist seemed like a good chance to find out something, since I had to go to places I haven't been before. And come on, start right now. What about lunch? Don't worry, I'll bring you more sandwiches. The checklist is more important. Good luck. Can I give the keys back to Slavia yet? They departed too fast for me to ask anything else. Missed breakfast, now missed lunch too. This ain't good. Maybe I'll manage it in time somehow? Lunch starts at 1 PM. Then again, if I'll go there, I might miss the place from the checklist. Okay, it's too early to go to the canteen anyway. Fuck it. Oh shit. Oh fuck. Where are we? That is... Assuming cardboard head over there is me. Well, we were at the Genda, the square. So the closest thing, we don't need to go to the cafeteria. Let's go to the infirmary and get ourselves checked out first. Oh, I forgot to read that. Let me drink this. Tea. It's good tea. My health was fine. The fresh local air clearly did me some good. I felt fresher than usual. But I just have to visit it. Whoa. Okay, I had some slight interruptions outside, but nothing major. I entered. That was the scariest door opening noise I had ever heard. A common infirmary, like my school doctor's room. Oh, hello there, gorgeous. A middle-aged woman sat at the table. Obviously, she was a nurse. She gazed intently at me, assessing me while continuing to write something. Well, hello, pioneer, said the nurse without being distracted from her work. Good afternoon, my lovely flower. I have something... Sit down, please. Cold, I like it. I looked around the room. On the couch. I sat down. Strip. She said all of it with an even tone. That for? To inspect, to auscultate, I don't know how to pronounce that word. Check on your health, you know. By the way, my name is Violetta, but you can call me Viola. She turned to me. What are you waiting for? Strip. Why do doctors like for you to strip so damn much? But I have no health issues. I've got these. I neatly gave her the paper. Later. She took the stethoscope off her neck, seeming like she intended to probe me with it. But then someone knocked on the door. God damn it. The nurse answered unwillingly. Come in. In a moment, the door opened widely and Electronic rushed inside. Hello, I fell during the football game. Nonsense, of course, I'm okay, but Olga Dmitrievna... That was a massive bruise under Electronic's eye. Yeah, I can see that. I doubt that this could be a football injury. Sit down, I'll have a look, she said to him. And you, pass me your checklist. The nurse quickly signed it and continued. If something hurts, come to me immediately, pioneer. Is she hitting on me? Cause I kinda like it. I decided not to answer and went out, closing the door behind me. That nurse is surely something else. The hottest so far I've seen. What is it with me and mature women? I have a problem. I need help. From a doctor, not a nurse. Unless that doctor is also beautiful. Actually, I love reading. But spending my days in a library under the current circumstances was well beyond my scope. So I'd better hurry up with this checkpoint business. As I stepped inside, a memory from my childhood emerged in my head. It was very vivid. I'm 7 or 8 years old. I'm at the library with my mother. There she's looking through the books I might need for my studies. I'm sitting in the corner and looking through their collection of comic books. Back then, I didn't know why they had so many, or why I couldn't take some with me. The notion of collective property was something my mind hadn't grasped yet at that age. However, back then, the whole concept of property was pretty hazy to me. This memory seemed even stranger now, while I was standing in this particular camp, where they might have managed to build communism in 3 years. Soviet symbolism was all over the place, and the shelves were full of related literature. What accent is this? Of course, I wasn't planning to read any of these. Getting acquainted with a full collection of books by Marx was the last thing on earth I would think of. Where's the librarian? The library. I didn't spend much time looking for her. Ah, black-haired glasses. Hello there. I didn't introduce myself. I looked closely. Short hair, thick glasses, rather cute face. She was snoring so peacefully, I couldn't just wake her up. I can wait. If she doesn't wake up in half an hour, maybe then. I couldn't just sit there, so I took a random book from the nearest bookshelf. Arthur Schopenhauer, The World as View and Representation. I opened it roughly in the middle and started reading. The life of a man, with its endless upkeep, wants, and sufferings, is to be regarded as the explanation and paraphrase of the procreative act, i.e., the absolute claim of the will to live. And furthermore, it is also the reason the man owes nature his death, and thinks with anxiety of this debt. Is this not the evidence that our existence involves guilt? At any rate, we always exist, from time to time playing with death for our birth. We always exist and alternatively bear all the joy and sorrow of life, since neither of both can pass us without some effect. That is a result of our stated will to live. Thus the fear of death, which in spite of all the miseries of life holds us firmly to it, is really elusive, but just as elusive is the impulse which has attracted us into it. This attraction itself may be seen objectively as the mutual longing glances of two lovers. They are the purest expression of the will to live, in its affirmation. How gentle and tender it is! It wants happiness, and quiet pleasure, and mild joys for itself, for others, for all. Someone knocked on the door. I closed the book quickly and put it back in its place. What a nice habit, knocking on the door. I should pick it up. It was lens flare. Oh. Hi! I smiled. Hi, I just wanted to return a book. She had a copy of Gone with the Wind that I saw yesterday. Oh, Xenia is sleeping. I'll come back later. I'm awake. Wasn't sleeping in the first place. I turned around in surprise to look at her. She eyed me closely from behind her table. What is it you wanted? I need you to check here. Give it here. She quickly signed the paper and gave it back to me. She had this look on her face that made me want to keep quiet. Then I came up to her to return her book. I thanked Xenia and went out. Skedaddle skadoodle. Alright, music club. Do we have to go to both? Let's go to the clubhouse first. I went to the clubhouse. To tell the truth, I never really liked extracurricular activities. At school, I used to find any excuse to skip extra classes. At university, I had no interest in participating in the student council. I wasn't interested in boxing, aero modeling, or sewing. So I came here just to check off the box. Nobody was there. I found myself in something like a hut of a junior robot enthusiast. There were wires and simple printed circuits scattered everywhere, chips, and on the table proudly stood an oscillograph. I heard voices from another room, and then two pioneers appeared. One was electronic, the other one I didn't know. Hey, I got fixed real fast. Hi, Semyon. We've been expecting you. It seems he knows everything about everyone. Why were you expecting me? Well, of course, because you came to sign up to our cybernetics club, didn't you? You didn't let me answer. That guy on the right looks like Russian Milo Thatcher. And this is Shurik. He's in charge here. I assume there's only 2 of you in the club. Well, you can say that it's 3 now. Shurik came up to me and assertively offered his hand. His face was somewhat familiar. Welcome to the club. Yep. Now I'll show you around. Make yourself at home. Guys, I just wanted to... We're always welcoming new members. He said it in such a way that the anthem of the Soviet Union suddenly started playing in my head. It's amazing, I even remembered the words. In the first grade, I had a textbook with the lyrics in the back. No, I just wanted you to sign my checklist. Yep, you sign up to the club, go sign your checklist. He grinned. I was getting ready for a long and boring argument, but then I heard someone enter. I looked back and saw Slavia. Ah, Semyon, I hope they're not giving you any trouble. She narrowed her eyes, looking at the future of the motherland's robotics industry. I know these two. They can. Well, you know, actually, I just need to get my checklist signed. I decided to take advantage of the situation. Yes, my man. No problem. Give it to me. Everyone has a Russian accent now. Slavia took the paper and marched up to Shurik. Sign it. Hold on. We're not done yet. You're done. Sign it now, bub. She gave Shurik such a threatening look that it made him lose every possible objection. He wrote some squiggles on the checklist, I thanked Slavia, and then I moved on in a mellow mood. Oh, they've changed locations. That's amazing. That's awesome. Music club time. The music club, a small one-level building, was located some distance from the other camp buildings. I opened the door and entered without hesitation. A grand piano! I want one. There were enough instruments for a whole orchestra here. Drums, guitars, even a piano. I spent some time looking closely at every instrument, wanting to guess the time period they were from. But suddenly I heard a crawling sound coming from underneath the piano. That's some fan service! Finally! A girl. Seems like she was looking for something. She was standing on all fours in such a suggestive pose that I hesitated to speak at first. Excuse me, I appreciate the view, but who's there? She looks like Hatsune Miku. She tried to stand up, but the bottom of the piano prevented her from doing so. Ouch! You look like Hatsune Miku. She struggled out. Sorry I scared you. It's nothing. Oh, you got a checklist? You must be new here. Yes. My name is Miku. What did I just say? She's Russian Hatsune Miku. No, really, I'm serious. Nobody believes me, but it's my real name. My mother is Japanese. My dad met her when he was building. Well, it wasn't him who was building, he's an engineer. And he was working on a nuclear power plant there. Or dam, or bridge, whatever. She was talking so fast she swallowed half the words she tried to pronounce. I'm Semyon. Great, wanna be in our club? It's only me here now, but there will be two of us then. Do you play anything? Then I became antisocial. I bought the guitar and learned a few chords, but then I forgot about it. And since I quit everything that required more than a couple of hours to learn. You know, I wasn't planning to do anything like that, really. Oh, it's okay. I'll teach you. Maybe a trumpet, for example. How about violin? I know it all, honestly. There was no point in arguing with the orchestra girls, since there was only a cascade of words waiting to blast at me. You should be friends with Lena. She doesn't say anything, you say too much. You'll be great. Hey, I'll think about it. Can you just sign it for now? Yes, sure, give it to me. Be sure to come around. I sing too. I'll sing you some Japanese folk songs. Or maybe if you're not into that, something more contemporary? Sure. Thanks. Got to go now. Of course. Come by anytime. The end of her sentence stayed inside. But it might be nice to hang around with the guitar in the evening, but in such company. I turned to leave and came face to face with Elisa. Hey there, hot and spicy. She eyed me suspiciously. Why did you come? The checklist. Got it signed? Yes. Then move it. Elisa went inside and I hurried to leave the place. Okay. Finally, I got all the signatures. I have completed all the side quests. I collected all 100 pine cones. Now I had to go back to Olga Dmitrievna and give it to her. She was sitting in front of her cabin, reading a book. Doesn't look like a good role model for the perfect pioneer that she was planning to turn me into. I wonder if her responsibilities extended beyond giving fiery speeches at the lineup, scolding Uliana, and getting involved into my moral, physical, and ideological growth. Here, I offered her my checklist. She placed it in her pocket without even looking at the signatures. Great, I could have signed it myself without going anywhere. Perfect! So did you meet our nurse? Yes. For some reason, her question sent shivers down my spine. Which club have you signed up for? I didn't. I need to think first. That's a pity. It's vital for you to sign in somewhere tomorrow. Of course. Sure. Right, it's time to go to dinner. About time. I was getting hungry. I headed to get to the canteen together with Olga Dmitrievna. And that is where we will end today's episode of Everlasting Summer. I will probably edit and upload this tomorrow. Look forward to that. Well, today for you guys, since you're only gonna see it when I upload. But yeah, that's about it. So type down your favorite character in the comment section down below. So far, I think the best grills would probably be either Olga, Slavia, the nurse. Yeah, around these three. But who knows? A lot of them look pretty interesting. They have pretty interesting personalities. Especially Elisa. What the hell is wrong with that girl? Why is she so angry? Does she need to talk or something? I don't know. But let us save. Yes, save into slot 6. Save game. So far we haven't had to do any decisions lately, so which is kind of weird, but it's been really pleasant playing this game so far. Okay, that's enough of me talking. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, I'll see you all next time. Show's over for today. Adieu.